given me the perfect cover. No one would recognize me in my black, jewel-encrusted mask and long blonde wig. As I glanced at the mirrored wall outside the door, I hardly recognized my damn self. Those were my beautiful and perky breasts, sitting pretty in the black leather barely there bra. Those were absolutely my honey bronze thighs, peeking above the knee-high leather boots. And yes, that was my round, bubble ass in all her glory encased in black leather. I touched the door handle and felt a shock, no doubt from the static kicked up by my boots on the carpet. But for a second, it made me think of my best friends and sorority sisters, Hahna and Kimberly. I wondered what they would think of this leather-clad version of me. Then I decided I didn't care what they or anybody thought. Well, I almost didn't care. I still cared enough to put on a costume and disguise myself. I hadn't even told my soror, Tracy, the owner of the club, that I was venturing into the room behind the red door. It would be my little secret. I reached back down to the door handle. No shock this time, so I pushed it open and ventured into the darkness. It wasn't completely dark in the large room. There was lighting along the baseboards that cast a glow all around. Along the perimeter of the room, there were glass-encased sections that almost looked like cubicles, although everything happening inside the glass was not safe for work. My planned role for the night was the voyeur. I'd gathered enough bravery to watch and consume the debauchery, but I hadn't committed to participating. I still had to work up enough nerve for that. So I watched the singles, couples, triples, and even more numerous groupings engage in every sexual act known to woman and man. More than once I had to block out my grandmother's voice in my head saying, "Sodom and Gomorrah." I discarded my upbringing, dismissed sermons and my sporadic dealings with the women's ministry at my church. This had nothing to do with any of that. Or maybe it did. Maybe I was tired of waiting on God to send me a Boaz. I didn't need the whole man anyway. Too much trouble. Just wanted to feel that part that made my body tremble. I swallowed hard as I watched one couple who were into each other like there was no one else in the room. The heat surging in my lady parts wasn't caused by the leather. I kept walking along the wall, vaguely aware of the people around me, other voyeurs enjoying the exhibitionists, maybe thinking of participating, or content to be outside of the action. I stopped again, in front of a woman who was alone. She pleasured herself and stared straight ahead as if she was on a Broadway stage. I tilted my head to one side and wondered if she was performing or if her face contortions were authentic. I started to walk again, but I felt someone walk up closely behind me. Before I could turn and demand my personal space, I felt a burn through my spinal column, and I lost control of my body and consciousness. I woke up behind glass and to quiet laughter. He laughed again as he walked toward the car. His red hair was the same, and so were the freckles. He looked somehow smaller than he had on that night, but I was sure it was him. The man who raped me at Club Phenom waved to a woman and a little girl as he got in the car with his briefcase, probably on his way to work. I couldn't move until the car pulled off, but when it did, I broke into a full sprint. No quiet voice now, no counting, no footfalls, just pure adrenaline and terror as I raced back to my brownstone. Getting behind my locked door did nothing to relax me. I couldn't stay here. Not today, maybe never again. I grabbed a bag and shoved random clothing inside, not even sure what came next.